Dan the Naturalman Show. Hello. It's Thursday, right? Tomorrow is Friday, which is a good day for a lot of us. So today I want to talk about forever chemicals. You know, we've talked about this before. But forever chemicals, they're found in things like plastic, fire retardant chemicals, flame retardant chemicals. They're found in our water. They're found in our some of the food, and they're called forever chemicals because it takes a long time for them to break down. But once they get into your body, it's really hard for your body to get rid of them. You know, I always talk about, well, I don't talk enough about detoxification. But it's hard to detox these chemicals out of our body, and these chemicals have been found to increase our risk of things like cancer, infertility, heart disease, diabetes, probably even autoimmune disease, because they also disrupt our hormones. But there's a new study that just came out recently, and they found that there are certain gut bacteria that we have when we're healthy that can actually take these chemicals in and help detox our body. They took rats, and they took healthy gut bacteria from humans, put it into the rats. Don't ask me how, but they did it. And then they fed the rats some of these forever chemicals. You know, rats have a great life, but they fed them some of these forever chemicals, and when the rats went to the bathroom, they found 25 to 75%. I think they figured out these bacteria can ingest 25 to 75% of our forever chemicals, and they found it in the rat's poop. So they didn't specify in the study what gut bacteria, breaks these chemicals down, but we don't really have to know that. What we really have to know is how do we keep our gut healthy, okay? And what are some of the things that we should quit doing that is harming our gut? Well, one of the first things is they recommend for us to eat a diet that is diverse in produce. Now, I don't get to do this, and you probably don't either. I ate some of the same, I'm a plant-based eater, but I ate some of the same plant foods. But they have found that people who eat a more diverse diet of plants have a more diverse gut bacteria, which is a healthier gut. They have found that rural Africans and rural South Americans have a more diverse gut bacteria than people that live in the modern world, you know, like in the cities and places like that where you don't get access to a lot of these good plant-based foods, and you don't get a lot of variety in the diet. So one thing is they're saying people don't get enough variety. This can harm your gut bacteria. Lack of prebiotics in the diet, which goes back again to plant foods. Some foods that are really good, high in prebiotics are lentils and beans, oats and bananas, artichokes, asparagus, garlic, leeks, and onions. So think about those foods. We should try to get those foods into our diet, you know, during the week. Another thing that damages our gut is drinking too much alcohol. Alcohol is toxic to our gut bacteria. People who drink more than recommended tend to have a less healthy gut microbiome because the alcohol kills the gut, because alcohol is poisonous. Another one is using antibiotics too much. A lot of these doctors will prescribe antibiotics for everything, even for viral infections that they do nothing for. But the problem with the pharmaceutical antibiotics is they do kill the bad bacteria that may be making us sick, but they also kill all of the bacteria. It's like dropping a nuclear bomb. It just kills everything. So it kills the gut bacteria. And some doctors are saying now that you should take a probiotic while you're taking antibiotics and after you take the antibiotics. But there are also other studies showing that if you've been on antibiotics for a long time, they're saying that they've seen some studies that say you can't really rebuild all those good bacteria again. So really, you want to be use antibiotics as little as possible. No exercise, believe it or not. Of course, you should believe it, because exercise is one of the best things we can do for our health. But they have found people that do little to no exercise have sicker guts. They have less diverse bacteria. But people with a higher fitness level have their bodies produce more butyrate producing bacteria, and they have a more diverse gut bacteria. I think probably one reason is because when you exercise at a consistent, reasonable level, it actually increases your immune system function, which helps protect your gut. Because you remember, I think they're saying 70% of your immune system is in the gut, because the bacteria in the gut play a vital role in keeping us healthy and keeping our immune systems working properly. Cigarettes, of course, cigarettes. We all know by now that cigarettes are bad for us, but they have found that heavy smokers have poor gut health. Because the cigarette smoke, it just poisons you. Every time you light one up, it poisons the body. Not just the gut, you're talking about your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, everything. Even hurts your eyes. No sleep, or not enough sleep. Of course, sleep affects everything. It's the thing that basically, if you're doing a lot of good, healthy things throughout the day for yourself, you're not getting enough sleep. The sleep is like the binder. When you go to sleep at night, all those good things that you did during the day is going to add the final touch to that, so you get the best results. So they're showing that if you're not getting enough sleep, it stresses the body, stresses the gut, kills off some of your good gut bacteria. Too much stress, yes. When we're highly stressed a lot, it actually alters our gut bacteria. It makes us have more bad bacteria and less good bacteria. Stress is a toughie. Some people have more stress than others, but we have to find ways to get rid of the stress. Now, you can't get rid of it, but ways to cope. Meditation, deep breathing. You may even need to talk to a counselor, praying, things like that. And another thing that we don't think about is chlorine in the water supply. Chlorine, when you drink chlorinated water, it actually kills the gut bacteria, because chlorine is put into the water to keep the bacteria and all the things in the water down. So what do you think it does when you drink it? It screws up your bacteria. And this is why I have always recommended everybody to drink distilled water. And I highly recommend, if you choose to do that, just go buy yourself a home distiller. Like I say, Mega Home is a great one. I've had the Mega Home distiller now for about 10 or 12 years. I use it every single day, and it has not failed me. Mega Home, you can get them on Amazon. I think they're about a little over $200. And when things tear up on it, you can buy parts and fix it, okay? So yes, the gut is like the command center for our overall health. And so the more you do to heal your gut and strengthen your gut, the more able your body will be able to get rid of forever chemicals, because none of us can avoid them. They're everywhere. They're in everything now. We can't worry about that anymore. We have to rely on our experts and scientists to figure out a way to get these out of our environment and start to make things that are free of these chemicals. Now, they definitely take their time on things like this. So, like I said, and I always will say, it's all up to you. You have to take care of your health. You have to take care of your health. Nobody else can do it for you. In the world we live in today, it's even more important that we actually pay attention to what we put into our mouth, to what we put into our minds, to how much sleep we get, to how much fiber we get. All these things are very, very important to protect us in a polluted world. And it's not just chemical pollution. It's psychological pollution, financial pollution, spiritual pollution. We could go on all day. Things aren't right in the world anymore. Maybe they probably never were, but today they're more evident than ever. So, but the good news is there's a lot of things that you can do to protect your physical body and to give yourself your best chance to live a long, healthy, vibrant, productive, and fun life. If you liked this video, please like and share it. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out my page, Dan@naturalman.com. And remember, until next time, keep it natural.